Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Dime Box Discoveries. We do have some dime cards in here, but it's sort of complicated. It's a hodgepodge of stuff. My dealer, so to speak, and my drug of choice is baseball cards, as probably many of you also have that same issue. Invited me over to his house. I go over there sometimes. Scott, you see him comment every now and then. A good friend, also a guy I buy from a lot, was like, come on over, buy some stuff for me before I take it to the shows, and then you price it out and tell me what you're going to pay me. And I hate when he does that because, I mean, it's awesome to get it first, but he knows I'm going to pay him more than he would ask. Because number one, that's, just the way you do it. And number two, he's a friend. And number three, I want to be honest. So it's dirty of him to do me that way, but it's okay. Because we got some great cards. It was an opportunity for me to grab a lot of stuff for the PC. It's almost all PC stuff today. And let's jump into it and show you. There's a lot of Mark McGwires. You've seen my videos before. You know I PC Mark McGwire. And there's an opportunity to get a lot of cards I don't have of his. So these are all the ones, the McGwires I bought that I did not have. Great TCDB.com I talk about helps you track all of them. By the way, I'm going to ask you a question and give you until the end of this stack to answer it for yourself in your head, for your own glory. How many different Mark McGwire cards do you think exist out there? How many are on TCDB that they have logged? So that's the question for you. How many different cards are there of just Mark McGwire, random guy? So let's show you. These are the ones I did not have that I bought. So really great. Some cool stuff here. This one I actually did have, but it was in the set, not an individual. Same as this one. I had the set, but not the individual one. So these are some really cool ones. This one's really cool. It's Mark McGwire with Will Clark. By the way, this whole entire stuff here, $42, I think is what I ended up paying him. So in case you're curious. A lot of dimes, and some I'll show you were a couple bucks more. So these are all the different Mark McGwires. Didn't have, it was like 35 or so different Mark McGwires. So, okay. How many different Mark McGwire cards are there, by the way? Unique Mark McGwire cards. There are 14,825 different Mark McGwire cards. I have a little bit over 1,300 different Mark McGwire cards. So these are Mark McGwire cards that I already had. Some I knew I had, some I didn't know I had because I didn't want to bother looking. But some of these I bought because I just love these cards, whether to trade and wear just to keep for some doubles. I freaking love the Black Topps Gold, the Diamond Kings. Love this studio set. They're great looking cards. No way did I think I had a silver You Crashed the Game, but apparently I did. So love this card from the score. It's like Young Stars, Young Superstar. So here's the ones that I already had. Like I said, most of these I didn't know I actually had. This one I did know I had. Topps Gold to me is just hard to pass up. So these are some of the ones I bought. He threw the Diamond Kings at me. He's like, take these. I'm like, okay. So more Topps Gold there. There's 95 Bowman. All right, and then these ones back here are Mark McGwires that are numbered. So I ended up paying more for these. I priced them out, told him what the going rate was, what the comps were, and then he told me to pay him half the price for the comps, which I thought was really cool and really fair. So that's out of 10,000 out of the Diamond Kings. Lumberjacks, really cool card. It actually feels like wood. I think it's either made of wood or like wood knockoff paneling. Probably wood knockoff paneling. Although I guess all paper is made of wood, so it's made of wood. Anyway, it's out of 5,000. This one, not numbered, but still went for a fair amount. And then this one is numbered out of the studio out of 2,000. 1972. I'm sure some of you watching this were born in 1972, so that's probably a good number for you. All right. I also PC Barry Larkin, but I haven't really tracked his yet to know which ones I need and don't need, so I bought the ones that look like I may need them. So Barry Larkin, of course, a Cincinnati guy out of Moeller High School. Same as Ken Griffey Jr., same as Buddy Bell, Mike Bell, Len Matuzak, a bunch of different guys. So these are a bunch of... This is not the Larkin rookie card out of Cons. I wouldn't have done them like that. I would have given them a good value for that. But this is the 1989 Cons. I can't pass up food stuffs. That's also a stadium giveaway of a Cincinnati guy playing for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm like a raccoon with a shiny object when it comes to that. So a bunch of Barry Larkins in here. I mean, I told him they were between $0.10 and $0.25, a lot of them. Some might be more. And he was like, I'm not going to charge you like $0.25, so take them for $0.10. So I'm like, cool. But I did pay him fair value on some of these others like these also. So here we go. Here's what's more interesting. I love this one. I love that Diamond Kings made a Diamond King of Dick Perez, which you know, looks like is that the Dick Perez signature? It is. It's the Perez. So Dick Perez drew himself for his own Diamond King. For those of you who don't know, by the way, Dick Perez is the one who drew the Diamond Kings. So just super cool. I freaking love it. Dick Perez, the artist. Love that one. Okay. These ones are just totally awesome. The Fleer Pro Vision, as a, you know, I love my cards, hence Dick Perez there. And the Pro Visions, my controversial take, I think the Pro Visions are a lot better than the Diamond Kings. The 94 and 95 Pro Visions, man, it's like you're on like an acid trip. But they actually like stick together if you put them in the binder sheets. See, there's 1, 2, and 3. They kind of match up together. So these are super cool. I freaking love these. There are a bunch of those in there. Look at the Wizard, Ozzy in there. The Wizard of Oz, with the Wizard of Oz in the background. Awesome. Juan Gonzalez swinging the branding iron out of Texas. Here we go, right? Nolan Ryan in the tribute out of Upper Deck. It's a beautiful card. Some more Nolan Ryan. I think I need the craft singles of Tony Gwynn. Josh Gibson. You know I can't pass up a Josh Gibson. Big Red Machine. These are out of Klosterman Bakery. I believe that's a very Cincinnati bakery, at least used to be. I think they got bought out. Klosterman Bakery, they did like some Reds giveaways. So that's a foodstuffs and a local regional kind of piece. Calvin Pokey Reese. Minor league card. Of course, he was Cincinnati Red. Love the art cards, Willie Mays. These two, I'll explain these in a second. Let me come back to those. Sandberg there, Tony Gwynn. Just thought it was a beautiful card. I love those Fleer Flares of Jose Canseco along with the studio. Gwynn there. Frank the Tank Thomas, front row. We've got some unlicensed promos there. Love this card. It's Team USA and it's draft pick. So I'm working on the sets of these random like Top Stadium Club insert sets they had. This one's 1 of 2. I had the other one already. This one is 3 of 3, and I already have one of the other ones of these. These are Cons Stadium giveaways of Cincinnati Reds. And you know, I've taught this before, I just cannot resist the holograms, right? Like if you grew up collecting in the early 90s, the holograms are just like, I don't know, like you can't avoid them. You want these, and they're just, even though there's someone not special, there's David McCarty. But this one's awesome because it's Dave Parker. It is a foodstuffs. It's a Denny's Grand Slam. And Dave Parker, of course, is a Hall of Famer and a local Cincinnati guy. And then this I've talked about, the ones that have the pennant. Pick up all these in the cheap boxes because these were like short printed. Those are Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball. So these were like short printed ones. So, all right, some more of the random ones. Here we go. This is really cool. I love these. It's the number of home runs. It's got the bombs on the side of it because they have bombs. This is like World War II kind of stuff when they have a mark on the side of the planes. So really awesome. And on the back, you know, I never noticed was Frank Thomas on the back. How did I not notice that? I don't know, but now I just noticed. So that's really cool. All right. Cincinnati guy, David Justice. Jeff Bagwell. That's a gold version. That's really cool. The gold version. Some more Frankie Thomas, Stan Musial. Come back to that card because it's really awesome. I like this card. I don't even know what it is exactly. Grandstand Grace. I love that it's rounded to like almost kind of like a credit card kind of thing. So it's just really cool. Some of the All-Star, Topps All-Star Rookie Trophy Cup cards in the gold. I'm sure I've got multiples of these already, but I can't pass it up. This was an awesome find. Dave Parker and the Kellogg's 1981. I'm almost completely finished with the set. I think I need 4 or 5 cards left for the set. That's it. And it's an awesome set. And I already have the Parker, but being a local Cincinnati guy, I had to pick it up. Speaking of local Cincinnati guys, Mark Lewis, number 2 pick in the 1989 draft out of Hamilton, high school out of Hamilton, Ohio. Very cool. Plus a great photo. Griffey in the unlicensed. I love it, but horrific crease across the face, but I'm okay with that because it's Griffey and it's awesome. Spirit of the Game, more David Justice, local guy. There's more local guys, Roger McDowell, Topps Gold. Scott was like, you got to take this card and show it. This is the ultimate Bobby Bonilla Day card. Bobby in the Mets uniform with the New York skyline in the background. Yeah, so Bobby Bonilla Day celebrated on July 1st every single year. And then Jim Thorpe, very cool. Oh, I didn't notice. Is this a parallel version? If it is, Scott, I may owe you more money. I'll be good to double check that and see. If not, just a really cool Jim Thorpe card. And then the Twizzlers card. No more Garcia. I need this one for my Twizzlers set. So it's really cool because it's not just like Donovan McNabb is in this. There's a NASCAR driver in this. So some random people in the Twizzlers set. Very cool. So here we go. This one is really cool because there's a lot going on here. Dude with the old school, cell phone going on right here. Piazza with the old school cell phone. Piazza with what is up with the cereal that's a plain white box? Is this so they could Photoshop in what's going on? And also, really seriously, what is going on with the timeless sort of cutout with the towel in the background? The donuts on the table, little chocolate donuts. Makes me think of the SNL sketch, which is one of my most favorite ones. So there's a lot going on in this card, a lot to unpack. I love it. I just love this card. So now these two cards. I'm going to explain a little bit why the Dream Team cards of a shirtless Jose Canseco and a shirtless Ricky Henderson. Well, one of my best friends at work happens to be gay, and we were talking about sports, and I took him to some basketball games this year, and he loved basketball. I took him to an NHL game, and he freaking loved going to the NHL game to check out the Blue Jackets. By the way, every person I've taken to an NHL game freaking loves going to NHL games. Anyway, so he knows I'm a huge sports fan, knows I'm a huge baseball card fan. In fact, actually, if you go back to my last video, when I talk about the thrift store mystery bags, he's the one who bought them for me because he knows baseball cards. We were joking about baseball cards, and he said, are there any baseball cards that a gay man would enjoy? And I jokingly said, what about shirtless dudes called Dream Teams? And he said, okay, sure. If they really put shirtless guys with Dream Teams in quotes on baseball cards, I would like those. So, I found these. So these are going to him. He will die. They'll make him laugh so much. This is like an inside joke between us. Anyway, moving right along. I'm going to come back to these because I want to explain these in a little bit. These ones I did pay up. These are 95s. These ones go for a few more bucks. I think I priced them out like $1 a piece. I do find these in dime boxes, by the way, but they are steals in dime boxes, and I want to be good to them. So I'm working on finishing all these. I think I'm about finished. I might be finished. I don't know. I bought them just in case. Here we go. So Jordan is awesome. Bad crease, but I don't care what's next to Michael Jordan. I have plans for that. These cards are horrific. Can you even see how bad these are? You probably can. I mean, they're as bad as about as bad can get. But they are two Hall of Famers. They are awesome. And I love them. I do. I love them. I think what I'm going to do, because I've got a bunch of beaten up vintage that people wouldn't touch, but I love them. I think what I want to do is I want to start working on... No, it's just... Okay, it's natural. Okay. So I want to start working on Frankensets of beaten up vintage. I think that would be so much fun, of really cool beaten up cards, of vintage cards, or just even like this Jordan could go in there. So I may do a Frankenset of beaten up cards. I think it'd be so much fun. What can I find for really cheap of beaten up cards? Okay. Now this is where I screwed myself, and I'm happy with it, and I'm proud of screwing myself a little bit. So I was like, Scott, Fleer Provision cards, whatever, what do you want from me? He was like, I don't know, they're Fleer Provision, not worth anything. So here's for you guys at home, and where I want to teach a little bit, 1993 Fleer Provision, okay? Three came in Series 1, 3 came in Series 2. These are really hard to find. I do find them in dime boxes. I have two other, I have the Dennis Eckersley and the Gary Sheffield. First of all, I love this Cecil Fielder one from his time, throwback to his time in Japan. I think it's beautiful. I think it's great artwork. But these are really hard to find. In fact, I couldn't even find what the odds were on these. But I did see someone talking about how he cracked 3 cases of Series 1 and Series 2 and found 0 Fleer Provisions. They're hard to price because if you look them up on eBay, they go anywhere from $5 to $40 a piece. Actually, I think some went for $2 or $4. They make no sense whatsoever. I literally cannot price this because they make no sense. So I told Scott, I was like, Scott, no, these are worth much more. And Scott was like, how about $10 for the pair? And I was like, deal, done. Because I don't even know if I need them, if I want them, but I wanted, number one, to be fair to him. And number two, I wanted to show you a teachable moment. If you see the 93 Fleer Provision in baseball, buy them. If you see them for like $1 or something, buy them because they're hard to find. Anyway, this is a super, let me go to here first. I was like, what did you want for this? He was like $1. $1 for the P&G set, Procter & Gamble set. I love this because, by the way, Procter & Gamble has their headquarters in Cincinnati. That is also where my girlfriend works. So Procter & Gamble is an extremely Cincinnati company. They're also the largest consumer good company in the world. So love this set. Love that they made this set. So, and then this is the Con set, 1994, 1995, whatever it is, of the Reds. So coupon expired 1994, so it had to be the 1993 set, maybe 1994 set, I guess. So 1994 concept complete set. He said $2 on that. There's nobody in there that's really anything special, but it's a complete set. I don't have to chase them down individually. Worth my time. Here we go. Here's what I get excited about. Look at this starting line of cards. It's kind of hard to see, but they are a little bit. There we go. There's the crease up top. You can see some bad creasing, but I freaking love them. I love them. They're great. And then this, look at all these beautiful, beautiful Sports Illustrated for Kids cards. There's nothing special in here. Scott was like, take them for a dime a piece or whatever. But if you happen to find anything that's worth more, you let me know and pay me more for it. So it's cool. I didn't come across anything in here that is like a really good rookie card. There's not like the Tony Hawk or anything in there like that. There's nothing too special in here. There is a Steve Young, but it wasn't really worth too much. Now this is my most exciting one as an Avalanche fan. So that's really cool. And there is a Derek Jeter in here, but it's not worth much more than $1. So there's a Yager. Let me go through these real quickly, show you what we got here. So these actually, by the way, are really cool. These are I was like, boy, I bet these are an April Fool's one. They're indeed April Fool's ones, April Fool's Day card. Here is Mike Piazza with the catcher's gear. Here is Dave Robinson dunking a basketball on a soccer field. Michelle Kwan with the rollerblades. Cheryl Swoops to the ball too big. John Elway chucking pies. Pete Sampras playing with a ping pong paddle. Mark McGwire playing for both the Cubs and the Cardinals. Jerry Rice juggling footballs. So yeah. Anyway, back to these. Going through them. Trying to go through them very quickly for you. There we go. There's a Jeter. And you can see they're not in good shape. They're torn up. So, and some of these are worse than others, but I don't care. I love them. Then these are super cool. These are the oversized ones. This is like a set of 4. I have 3 of the 4. The 4th one to complete the set, by the way, is a Michael Jordan. So probably not going to grab that one unless I can get it at a good price. But still super cool. Kind of dinged up, but I don't care. They're really cool. All right. Now, I want to show this one. This is because I buy a lot from Scott. I think I'm putting his daughter through college, or it will be when she gets there. Trying to help out. Or I'm keeping his cat with cat toys. I'm giving Scott the money to buy cat toys. I buy a lot of them. Scott was like, man, I know you like weird stuff. How about this? I freaking love this. Bill the Spaceman Lee, an autograph card when he's pitching with the weird spaceman uniform on. And it's stamped. So super, super cool. It's an auto there. Scott just gave it to me. So that's really cool. And I gave him some stuff. So we're just really good like that. It's weird. Like sometimes we give each other stuff, and other times I buy stuff from him. I don't know. It works for both of us. That's what, being good to each other in the hobby is. So that's super cool. I thought you guys would enjoy that. I freaking love this. This is awesome. And he also knows I love Team USA stuff of all the sports. So Brent Abernathy obviously played in the major leagues, but didn't do much. This guy, Josh Karp, didn't do anything. So these are game-used uniforms from the Team USA uniforms. I love these. Super cool. I don't know, like a dime or quarter, whatever I paid him for. And then this one, last and certainly not least, he was like, give me a dime for this just so I can say I got a dime for this and you can show it off. I'm like, what the heck is this? First of all, it says it's a 10, mint or better. But I mean, if you just eyeball the corners are not a 10. Also, so what this is, I'll try and give it there. So it's a game-used bat. Apparently, authenticated. This is a chip of Mark McGwire's game-used bat tucked into this. So I guess at some point, BCCG decided they were going to take worthless cards and pair them up with relic pieces or, kind of things and sell these for something. I don't think that worked out for them. But anyway, as a Mark McGwire collector, I think it's super cool. I think it's stupid, but I think it's super cool. So anyway, that's what I got for $42. All of this. This one, once again, was a gift. Much love from Scott. And this is what we do to each other in the hobby. We take care of each other the best we can. So spread the hobby love. To those, if someone's good to you, be good to them. Or be good to them and they'll hopefully be good to you. That's the concept of karma in a way of speaking. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Be good to each other. Until next time, see you all later.